Mr. Johnson, you were granted bail after you began cooperating with authorities, providing us with valuable information about the inner workings of the Goon Squad gang. Is that correct? I nodded slowly, avoiding the prosecutor's gaze. Yeah, that's correct, I mumbled. You initially lied about where you got the gun. When exactly did you start cooperating? I was sitting on the stand somewhat ashamed. Coming from where I come from, wasn't nothing worse than a snitch except a pedo. And I mean that in literal terms. Snitching is worse than taking a life. Shit, you step on a nigga 9 times out of 10, it's celebrated. The niggas across from me in the courtroom that I was telling on, they got love for stepping on shit. And I ain't gonna cap, I looked up to them boys too. That's how I ended up here. Alright, so boom. It all started in the fall of 2016. We was on the block posted on the dead end. Me, Wham, Keno, D-Thang, and a few more of the guys. The police shoot by, so we hit the cut. Everybody get to splitting up and going their own directions. Me and D-Thang hit the alley. Worst decision of my life. D-Thang, aka 30, was 21-year-old Devontae Creighton. He was out on parole and had no intention on going back. He pulled the Glock 23 out his waist and threw it to me. Hey, get the fuck on, shorty, and don't lose my pipe. I knew my place. I put the blick in my hoodie, threw up the forks, and hit the fence. As soon as I landed, my eyes go to the open field sitting adjacent from the fence. I figured once I get to the other side, I could throw the blicky under the car or something. I took about 2 strides before I heard, "Freeze or I'll shoot." I never even looked back. I was headed to Cook County Jail on weapons charges. And to complicate things, we had put in a lot of work with that particular gun. Eventually, I was informed that I was the lead suspect in a murder investigation and some more shootings. The real issue is an innocent 16-year-old girl got killed with that gun. She was in the wrong car with the wrong nigga at the right time. But lucky for me, I was in jail that day on some bullshit trespassing charges. They tried to get me to rap, but they was wasting their breath. I was too solid. After sitting for a couple months, I was released on house arrest. I couldn't leave the house for anything other than school, and I hadn't been to school in about a year. After a couple weeks of being cooped up in the house, I asked my granny to sign me up for school. There was an alternative school on 71st, a couple blocks from us. I won't have to leave the hood and worry about the ops trying to get up with me. Now I could get a little freedom. For the first time in my life, I actually enjoyed going to school. I hadn't really seen or talked to the guys. A few members were in and out the county while I was there, but for the most part, I hadn't spoken to nobody. So on my 3rd day back in school, we had a late start day. So I decided to go to G-Lo crib and caught some trees. He was one of the original members. We sat and we smoked for about an hour, talked about my time in county, all the fights and riots in there and shit. There was a knock at the door. G-Lo said, "Hey, get that for me." It was Wham.
What's up, gang? When you get out? Your ass been in the house hiding, huh?
Shit, nigga, you see this ankle monitor? I had to sign up for school just to get a little freedom.
School? Nigga, you in school?
Hell yeah. Hollis Academy. I'm about to head there now, shit.
Oh, you got pole? Shit, let me walk with you, bro. Street's crazy right now. We into it with everybody.
Nah, thanks, big bro. I'm good. It's just a couple blocks.
Nah, nigga, you tripping. DKG just shot that nigga Keno last night. I'm coming with you, shorty.
All right, big bro, I appreciate that. I sprayed my clothes and my bag with some Axe spray to cover up the weed smell, locked hands with G-Lo, and we left. We headed across the field on 70th to catch the alley to 71st. About halfway across the field, we see an unmarked detective fly past. We darted into a gangway to the left. Deja vu, bruh. I ain't taking no gun this time. Fuck that. But Wham wasn't on that. We waited for the car to circle around the block, but it never did. Wham looked at me and said, "Which way you want to go?" "Let's hit this fence right here. We'll come out in the alley on 71st. So we jumped the fence. I bend down to tie my Timbs as quick as I can so I can try to keep up with Wham. But as I stood up, Wham wasn't in front of me. I'm thinking, what's taking this nigga so long? As I peek over my shoulder, the first thing I see is the barrel of a gun at my head. My instincts was on point. I swung around, raising my arm up in one motion. I hit the gun and it fired. I was hit in the shoulder. The force of the shot spun me around. Now I'm face to face with the shooter. It's Wham. The fuck you doing, nigga? We tussle for a half a second before he fires another shot. I'm hitting the hip. I hit the ground. He stands over me and fires 2 more shots before the gun jams. I'm out my body at this point. I can't even feel the shots hit me. I'm looking at myself curled up on the ground while this nigga stand over me. I think me being able to see the whole scene, the gun jamming up on him, me being curled up like a baby, that was like my spirit or God trying to show me that I still had a chance. I had a window of opportunity to get away. So now I'm back in my body. I'm seeing through my own eyes. I look up and Wham's still struggling with the gun. I hop up, I push him, and I run towards the street. He get right, fire about 3, 4 more shots. I don't know if he hit me or not. My body's still in shock, bro. I ain't feeling shit. I hit the corner and I stagger about 10 more steps for my body finally give out and I hit the ground. I remember looking up at a crossing guard, and the next thing I remember opening my eyes in the ambulance. As it turned out, Wham was the one who killed the girl with that gun I was caught with. And D-Thang and G-Lo was there. Them niggas set me up to die, man. Them boys thought I ratted. Even when detectives came to the hospital and was standing over my bed when I came to, I told them I ain't know who shot me. Man, I was solid as a rock. Or maybe solid as ice. Because once they put that heat on me, man, I melted like a motherfucker. A couple months after I got out of the hospital, they charged me with that girl's murder just to get me to flip. Turns out, allegedly, I wasn't in custody at the exact time of the murder. They created a timeline that gave me an opportunity. I ain't sure if it would have stood up in court. I felt like they was bluffing. But after sitting in the holding cell for 48 hours, I folded. But let me tell you, little nigga, something before you judge me. I never would have said nothing. I often dream about if I never got charged with that murder. I think about how I would have took all them niggas out and took the block over. You know what I'm saying? Shit, them niggas thought I was dead. Them fake ass niggas was all on the gram hollering RIP and shit. But that was a fantasy. What really happened was I took a gun off of OG on parole, got caught, stayed solid. Them niggas still tried to kill me. And then I still stayed quiet until I end up facing the murder that them niggas did. So yeah, I'm sitting here pointing fingers. Yeah, my gun charge done got dropped. Yeah, the feds gave me a stipend to get a place outside of Chicago. But fuck them niggas. Fuck Goon Squad. Nigga, fuck the streets. When I first got on the stand, I felt low, like I lost. But mid testimony, I realized something. I won, nigga. We ain't out here getting rich, nigga. We killing and going to jail. That's it. Ain't like this the 80s where you could make a couple million and get out the way. Nah, nigga. Death or jail. And I'm free in the house in a quiet neighborhood that I ain't even pay for. Shit, the only thing I really lost was my real nigga card and some street credibility. And I hate to tell y'all, that shit means absolutely nothing outside the hood. In all actuality, it don't mean nothing in the hood. Y'all just too blind to see. But I can't judge y'all. I damn near had to die to see it myself.